This is the high limit room. It's the home of 24 high rollers. We are free. 26 races down, 25 to go. That's right, it's the halfway point of the Kubota Highland Racing season as we roll in tonight to Western Pennsylvania here in Sarver. It's the Don Martin Memorial Silver Cup, the 34th edition of this famous race in sprint car racing for $25,000 to win. We've got 32 cars in the pit area here tonight. My name is Chase Rodman. Cars on the track right now as they get engine heat. They roll the track in a little bit as well. We're so glad you're joining us here on FloRacing tonight. Looking forward to seeing who will come out on top as a Silver Cup champion here this evening. Last year's winner, of course, was Rico Abreu, and he has been red hot here recently in sprint car racing. Just last week, picked up a big win on the night before the Kings Royal, ran well in that Kings Royal feature as well. But looking forward to seeing who is going to come out on top. Obviously, one guy to watch for tonight is going to be Sai Lynch, the local boy here who has won plenty of races. Of course, his family, a storied history here at the Lernerville Speedway, and we're going to look forward to seeing what he can do tonight. 2 second-place runs here last year with Highland Racing. Has not been the rookie campaign that team has looked for, but maybe tonight is a place where they can turn things around. We're looking forward to seeing how it all shakes out here this evening. The weather is absolutely fantastic. Let's take a look at the forecast for today. And as you can tell from our drone here, just a perfect day. 80 degrees, 5-mile-per-hour winds, and clear skies here in Sarver, PA. Now, for those of you that may be newer to sprint car racing, no, this is not considered Central Pennsylvania. This is Western Pennsylvania, so you're not going to get the likes of Dietrich and Raymer and DeWeese and all those types of guys here tonight. We do have a couple of Central PA guys, but not all of them. We're off the porch here, just a tick in Western Pennsylvania. Here is the order of events for tonight with 32 cars on hand. Hot laps and qualifying will kick things off this evening. 2 laps on the track in qualifying, and the best time will line them up for a heat race. There will be 4 heat races tonight, 8 laps in distance. The top 5 will transfer to the feature event. We'll have a roulette redraw wheel later on, which with a little bit of an extra bonus here tonight, which is exciting. The dash will be 7 laps in distance. The B main will be 12 laps, and the 35-lap feature for $25,000 to win here at the Silver Cup. As we mentioned, the 34th edition of this race in Western PA. Now, here's some of the notable entries for you to take a look at here tonight. Carl Bowser, a guy that knows this place very, very well, one of the local drivers at Lernerville, is here tonight. Corey Day, who got a win here at Lernerville last year during the Commonwealth Clash weekend. Tanner Holmes and Ashton Torgerson both make their Lernerville Speedway debuts tonight. AJ Flick, the 41-time Lernerville winner and 8-time track champion. James McFadden here with Tarleton Motorsports. The new king of Eldora Speedway, Kings Royal winner on Saturday, Anthony Macri, is here as well. Carson Macedo and Chris Wyndham from the World of Outlaws. They are here tonight, as well as Kyle Larson, who has 4 Silver Cup wins to his name. Here are some of the track facts that you need to know about Lernerville Speedway. We mentioned it's right here in Sarver, PA, opened back in 1967. Now, it is a 4/10 of a mile, which might sound like a big track to maybe some of you who've never watched a race here before, but I can tell you, once they get up to speed and they get racing in the future, it does not race like a 4/10 of a mile. The track record was established here by Brad Sweet back in 2023 on September 26th. The lap time, 12.300 seconds by the Big Cat. That was here with Highland Racing back in 2023. Now, tonight might look like your normal Kubota Highland Racing feature, but it is certainly far from that, as we are missing 3 high rollers. We're missing 3 competitors, 3 drivers, and of course 3 friends are not here with us tonight, as we are thinking about Brad Sweet, Tyler Courtney, and Aaron Reitzel, all injured over the last week. They are not in competition here this evening, Tony, and we are definitely thinking about them here this evening.
Yeah, Chase, you're 100% right about that. I've been in contact with either the drivers themselves or their significant others. Again, you talk about the 3 high rollers who were injured back during the Kings Royal and Jokers Jackpot Week at Eldora. We're talking about championship point leader and defending series champion Brad Sweet. He wants people to know that he's back home in California. He's sore, still pretty tired, a little banged up. More probably ego-wise than anything, but Brad taking the night off here and using Kubota Highland Racing's injury clause. He wants to thank everyone who has reached out. He appreciates it very, very much. Shelby Reitzel, Aaron Reitzel's wife, lets me know that they're back home. Actually, maybe currently in with the orthopedic surgeon, kind of dissecting what Aaron's facing here. She also wants to let people know they're very appreciative. Aaron getting a little stir-crazy already trying to find out what he's going to have to do to get behind the wheel of the race car. And then Asia Vanderlinden, fiance to Tyler Courtney, letting me know that successful back surgery was completed a few days ago. Tyler being kept in the Dayton, Ohio area after his very scary crash on lap 1 of the Joker's Jackpot with us at Eldora Speedway. But Tyler is in good spirits, and they're expecting him to be released either today or tomorrow, I understand it. If you want to support any of those drivers, there's a multitude of ways you can do that. You can visit the merchandise online shops for Tyler Courtney. RSR Ridge & Sons Racing has Aaron Reitzel's merchandise for sale. Brad Sweet, I believe you can also go back and visit the High Limit Racing merchandise trailer to find out more about his merch and learn about their online presence with his merchandise. And there's also a bucket here tonight at the Kubota High Limit Racing merchandise trailer. Say you don't need a t-shirt, say you don't need a hat, but you just want to support those 3 guys as they are out of the seat and not working tonight, having any way to make money. You can stop by the High Limit Racing merchandise trailer and support them via a financial donation. We very, very much appreciate that. Again, want to impress upon people the severity of those drivers' injuries. Tyler Courtney facing the longest road to recovery as he is still in the hospital in Dayton, Ohio. Change gears, you talked about, I think you called him the local boy, Chase. Nay, scratch that. The local man, Sai Lynch, returns home here to Western Pennsylvania. His father beat the Outlaws here back in 2002. He's got a pair of runner-up finishes with us here at Kubota High Limit Racing. I got to talk to Sai Lynch back in the pit area a little while ago.
Lernerville Speedway, Sai Lynch. They go together like peanut butter and something that peanut butter pairs really well with. Apollo, Pennsylvania, Sai Lynch, it's where you call home. How far is home from the Lernerville Speedway?
Our race shop's about 20 minutes away.
Wow. So a couple of second place finishes here last year at the Commonwealth Clash with Kubota High Limit Racing, but you are chasing your first ever national touring series victory at Lernerville Speedway. What is it going to take to get that done here tonight at the Silver Cup?
We just have to put a perfect night together. I mean, with these guys, there's no slouches, and you have to be fast every time you hit the track. But this race definitely is prestigious for us. My dad won the Silver Cup back in 2002. It was his first Outlaw win, and so it definitely means a lot. It feels good to be on home turf with all the home fans, and but it doesn't mean that it's any easier of a night, that's for sure.
You bring up Ed Lynch Jr., your father, scoring a major national tour victory here with the Outlaws. I met him last weekend at Eldora. He was hanging out, helping, offering his opinion and advice on things. How much does he have in, I guess, just coaching you, working with you, offering opinion? What does he do with you on this side of things?
Yeah, it's great. I mean, it's great to have him with all of his expertise. I mean, you know, he used to build his own cars and do everything. So, you know, his mechanical ability is you know, super high up for us to have. And then obviously the fact that he drove for so long is always great to take his advice. He unfortunately can't be here tonight. He's out of the state, but you know, having Flo to tune in always makes it pretty nice as well. So he'll be telling me everything I'm doing right and wrong.
Watching live on FloRacing, very smart. Your father, obviously a man very wise, and you have a lot of friends and a lot of families and a lot of people walking around in Mercedes Lynch Motorsports shirts. Is that extra pressure, and do you feel it while you're out on track?
No, I never really felt extra pressure here. You know, obviously I know the track super well, but the track has changed a lot. I mean, they've configured it a little bit differently, but no, I think, you know, we've been pushing really hard to get this team to the next level, and our Mercedes Lynch Motorsports team has been climbing the ladder, and I think that's something that I take pride in. And I feel a little bit of a relief coming back here. You know what I mean? Because it just, I mean, to me, it doesn't feel like pressure. It just feels like a old school race. You know, it feels like I'm back racing local again.
Sai Lynch, obviously, as he said, I love the way you put it, climbing the ladder as of lately. They've made dashes. They've been up front in qualifying. They're just looking to put that final piece together in the features. Tonight, a great place to do it here at the Lernerville Speedway. Sai, thanks for talking to us. Good luck.
For sure. Thank you, guys.
Sai Lynch, Apollo, Pennsylvania.
Always cool to catch up with Western Pennsylvania's Sai Lynch. He is riding the momentum of a 12th to 7th place run back at the start of the month, or no, actually that was the end of June when Kubota High Limit Racing had a 3-night showing out in Missouri at the Lucas Oil Speedway. 12th to 7th, the most impressive performance to date in 2025 for Sai Lynch. He talked about it in that piece, a pair of runner-up finishes here at Lernerville Speedway, but that was during the Commonwealth Clash last fall in 2024. So Sai Lynch and the rest of the high rollers who are here tonight, as well as the strong contingent of local cars and the drivers who have come over from Ohio ready to compete a little bit later on here tonight. Lernerville Speedway, Kubota High Limit Racing is happy to be back for the Don Martin Memorial Silver Cup. Don't go anywhere. We're going to be right back with more live coverage here on FloRacing.
To Lernerville Speedway for race number 26 of 2025 with Kubota High Limit Racing, getting a look at a portion of the pit area back there as drivers and teams prepare themselves for Dirt Draft Hot Laps in just a moment. Before we get into that, we wanted to take a look at something that is very pertinent information here. This is in the rule book with Kubota High Limit Racing, and this has to do with what Tony and I were talking about before that break, the injuries sustained to Brad Sweet, Aaron Reitzel, and Tyler Courtney. Under the High Limit Racing rule book, there is a medical provisional in the rule book that says that these drivers, if they need extra days to heal, they are allowed to do that as long as they have been granted that time in a 10-day period. And the driver and the car will get they will get points for tonight's event. For Brad Sweet and Aaron Reitzel, they will get points for tonight's event based on their average finish from throughout the season so far, plus 5 positions. So to put that into perspective, tonight for Brad Sweet and the Casey Kane Racing 49, they have a 6.3 average finish on the season. Round that down to 6 and add 5 positions to it. The KKR 49 will get 11th place points in tonight's main event. As for the Ridge and Sun Racing 87, they have a 6.75 average finish. Round that up to 7 plus 5. Aaron Reitzel's team will get 12th place points here tonight. Now for the Clausen Marshall Racing 7BC, as you can see right there in that as well, if the owner would like to race with a different driver during this time, they can, but will not receive the guaranteed points. The owner will receive points for their finishing position for that night. And so with Cole Duncan in the car for Clausen Marshall Racing, instead of taking what would be 11th place guaranteed points, they are going to try and improve upon that, and potentially they have the potential to take over the championship lead, as they are just 12 points behind the KKR 49. So Cole Duncan is the substitute driver for tonight. We know that after tonight, it will be Giovanni Scelzi. Now, here are the current point standings with the owners on the list here, Tony Laporta. KKR 49 with Brad Sweet as the driver leads it. Then it's the Clausen Marshall Racing 7BC minus 12, Ridge and Sun Racing 87 minus 23, the Rico Aber Racing 24 minus 37, and the Murray Marks Racing 19 minus 58.
Yeah, and Chase, that is the real tale of the tape with Kubota High Limit Racing, and that's not brand new. That's not the conspiracy theory because a couple guys are banged up and out of commission. That's how Kubota High Limit Racing has interacted with a points championship since 2024 when they went national. Heck, it might have even been that way back in 2023 when it was the midweek money series. But the whole name of the game here with High Limit is it's how the car runs, right? It's how the number 14 for Jason Myers Racing, parked right out here in front of us on the front straightaway, runs, right? So it's a gift in that way for the drivers and the teams who are unable to compete. The car is still able to make it out on track, and it's the way that injury clause is set up. People need to understand there's a 10-day window on that post the event or post whenever the wreck happens. So it's not like those guys are going to be able to just kind of cash that check all of 2025. It's going to be for a limited time only, and you never want to see anybody get hurt in a wreck. But as bad as those accidents and those injuries are to those drivers, they maybe could not have happened at a better time, considering we only race here tonight at Lernerville, and then it's a 3-week plus break until High Limit picks back up on the West Coast for the remainder of the season.
And so those are the things you need to know when it comes to the rule book and how this is going to work in the point standings, because this championship has just got turned on its head with the 3 injuries to the top 3 in the point standings. The first Dirt Draft Hot Lap session is now rolled on the racetrack. The first car you see on your screen now comes to us from Lebanon, Indiana, driving the Sander Engineering, 4 Cs Construction, Tally, Autry Plumbing, SinCal Demolition. Number 14, that is Spencer Baston. Spencer Baston in the 14. And also on the racetrack from Evans City, Pennsylvania, the Barris Truck Service, Barris Supply, McFarland Lumber, 21st Century Energy Group, number 32B. That is Brandon Spithaller. Brandon Spithaller in the 32B. And just behind him on the backstretch from Monrovia, Indiana, the Skagit Speedway Race Routine Foundation, Ford Performance, Hager Realty, number 26. That is Justin Peck. Justin Peck in the number 26. And making his Lernerville Speedway debut tonight from Glendale, Arizona, the Pels Tire Service, RF Knox Company, Newman's Racing Engines, XXX DMI, number 1A, it's Ashton Torgerson. Ashton Torgerson in the number 1A. And also on the back straightaway now from Lemoore, California, the All By Your Alternative, Mesquite Valley Transportation, Tarleton and Son, Scott Boyd Family, Durston Corporate number 41 of Carson Macedo. Carson Macedo in the 41. And rolling into turn number 3 now from Visalia, California, the Red Line Welding and Construction, Smith Titanium, Morrison Engines, King Racing Products. Number 45, it's Corey Eliason. Corey Eliason in the 45. And coming off of turn number 4 now from Tonawanda, New York, the Airport Collision Fiberworks Composites Get It Dumpsters, number 7NY, Matt Farnham. Matt Farnham in the 7NY. And the final car in our first Dirt Draft Hot Lap session is from Stoneboro, Pennsylvania, the Battle Management H&H Materials, Slippery Rock Materials, Tri-City Raceway Park, number 5X of Jeremy Weaver. Jeremy Weaver in the 5X. Those are the drivers in our first Dirt Draft Hot Lap session of the night. Essentially a practice session for these drivers. If you were not familiar with it, look at about 4 or 5 laps at speed, depending on track conditions. And then they will get themselves prepared for their qualifying efforts here tonight. Lap times coming across the screen. 13.729 is the fastest so far, set by Spencer Baston. And now Baston goes better on his second time by the stripe to a 13.685. He's followed by Peck, Spinaller, Torgerson, and Macedo. Ashton Torgerson up to the 3rd position as the checkered flag is set to come out. 13.936 for the 1A. Checkered is out, yellow lights come on. The fastest driver overall here in flight, or make that Dirt Draft session number 1, is Spencer Baston, 13.567 seconds. Corey Eliason in second at a 13.702. Ashton Torgerson third, 13.844. Justin Peck fourth, 13.931. And Brandon Spinaller at a 14.001. Matt Farnham, Carson Macedo, and Jeremy Weaver, the 8 cars that were in session number 1. If you don't already, make sure to download the Dirt Draft app in the App Store or in the Google Play Store. It's a great way for you to get involved a little bit more and have something to look at throughout the night of a dirt race. It doesn't go just for High Limit. It goes with USAC, goes with the All-Stars, it goes with the Lucas Oil Late Models, goes with the Outlaws, it goes with everything. Dirt Draft is a great app to download. You take a $100,000 salary cap, you get 5 drivers to choose from, and as long as you have the best lineup, you get points for the Speed Shop to buy all kinds of great stuff, Tony.
Chase, it's a lot of fun to play Dirt Draft. You and Blake Anderson and I were joking about it at Eldora Speedway. You have a, it's imaginary money, but they give you a salary cap of $100,000. That's the most you can spend, and each driver costs a little bit different amounts of money, and you have to have a lineup of 5 drivers. Think about it, a big wrinkle in tonight's Don Martin Memorial Silver Cup for Dirt Draft with Brad Sweet, Aaron Reitzel, and Tyler Courtney, 3 top money guys out of the running tonight. That might free up a little bit of cash for you on your Dirt Draft lineup to pick somebody that you've always wanted to. Dirt Draft is a super fun way to play and stay interested in the race each night and win some really cool merchandise like you talked about.
Certainly is. All kinds of great stuff in the Speed Shop. As we now get into our next group of cars, the first driver you see on your screen now filling in for the injured Tyler Courtney tonight from Lockbourne, Ohio. The NOS Energy Drink, Spire Motorsports, Elliott's Custom Trailers and Carts, Brand Professional Agriculture, Gainbridge, number 7 BC of Cole Duncan. Cole Duncan in the 7 BC. And making his Lernerville Speedway debut tonight from Jacksonville, Oregon, the Shane DeWald Trucking, Legacy Builder Supply, Orville Tax Sisters Meat and Smokehouse, number 18T. It's Tanner Holmes. Tanner Holmes in the 18T. And rolling into turn number 1 now from Myerstown, Pennsylvania, the M&M Painting and Construction, the Grew Equipment Auctions, Baps Paint, Livewire Customs, number 19 of Brent Marks. Brent Marks in the 19. And from Elk Grove, California, the Finley Farms, JVI Group, Vulcan's Brothers Trucking, Works Limited, All By Your Alternative, HinrichCars.com, number 57, 4-time Silver Cup champion Kyle Larson. Kyle Larson in the 57. And also on the track from Locust Grove, Oklahoma, the Pella Avanti Windows and Doors, Big Spring Car Wash, Water Treatment by Design, Juniata Concrete, number 13, Dason Persley. And from Northport, Florida, the Global Link, Moxie Sports Advisors, NRC Truck Conversions, Tar Heel Property Group, Easter Metal Signs, number 24D, the Florida Man, the 24D, Danny Sams III. And from Butler, Pennsylvania, the Crow Recycling, Dirty Mouth Communication, Ringer's Pet Dog Training, Reisman Body Shop, number 11 of Carl Bowser. Those are the drivers in session number 2. The checkered flag already set to come out. Kyle Larson goes to the top of the board in a 13.409, and a green-white checkered session done just like that. The 57 goes to the top of the board, 13.409. Cole Duncan in second at a 13.410, so 1/1000th off the lap time set by Larson there. Dason Persley third, 13.491, actually tied with Danny Sams the third, also at a 13.491, and Spencer Baston in fifth. Corey Eliason, Brent Marks, Ashton Torgerson, Carl Bowser, and Justin Peck, the top 10. The 50-50 is at $1,200 already, so if you want to get involved with that, $1,200 already at the 50-50. As we now roll into our third group of Dirt Draft Hot Laps here this evening. First car, the one closest to the outside retaining wall from Alice Springs, Northern Territory, Australia, and the Tarleton and Son American Rock and Rent Durst Incorporated Bandy and Associates number 21. That is James McFadden. James McFadden in the 21. And the 8-time track champion now rolls into turn number 2 from Apollo, Pennsylvania. The Fence by Maintenance, Ferguson Heating and Air Conditioning, Trinega Construction, Worthington Steel, Molly, number 2 of A.J. Flick. A.J. Flick in the number 2. And from Hubbard, Ohio, the Kingdom Classics, IC Electric. And from Struthers, Ohio, the J.S. Bova Excavating, Southern Eastern Equipment, Pro Quality Demolition, Seneca Bob Sub Shop, number 20B. It is Cody Bova. Cody Bova in the 20B. And just ahead of him from Minden, Nevada, the JST Motorsports, the Ritual, Smith Titanium Factory Cane, Maxima Racing Oils, number 88, that is Tanner Thorson. Tanner Thorson in the number 88. And rolling down the backstretch from Waco, Texas, the All-Ball Your Alternative, Infamous Inc., Bush's Chicken, Flint Rock Ranch, Easy Print number 9R. That is the quickest chicken, Chase Randall. Chase Randall in the 9R. And the new king of Eldora Speedway from Dillsburg, Pennsylvania, the J&S Classics, Whitecap, C&D Rigging, Class 1 Transportation, Randy Shear, Heating and Plumbing, number 39M. It's the Concrete Kid, Anthony Macri. Anthony Macri in the 39M. And final driver in this session from right here in Sarver, PA, is driving the Is That Right Fishing Charters, Vision Line Services, Camel Towing, Fairhope Property Investors, number 3, Jacob Begenwald. Jacob Begenwald in the 3J. The green flag is out. We're underway with session number 3. There's a look at Cody Bova, a 14th place finisher last year with High Limit here at Lernerville. He goes 7th quick on lap number 1 at a 13.713. Macri goes up to 6th quick. McFadden to the top 5 along with Tanner Thorson. Cody Bova faster on lap number 2. Chase Randall up to the 6th position now. Tanner Thorson goes to the top, 13.331. So at the conclusion of Dirt Draft Practice Session number 3, Tanner Thorson is the fastest driver, 13.331 seconds. Kyle Larson second, Cole Duncan in third, Dason Persley fourth, and Danny Sams the third and fifth. Chase Randall, Anthony Macri, James McFadden, and Cody Bova, 6 through 9, all in that last group. And then rounding out the top 10 is Spencer Baston with one more group of cars left to practice. That final group of cars is led onto the Speedway by the defending Silver Cup champion. Out of St. Helena, California, the Rico Abreu Curb Agajanian Racing, Swan Island Sheet Metal Pacific Boring, Spankins Motorsports number 24. It's Rico Abreu. Rico Abreu in the 24. And from Mechanicsburg, Pennsylvania, driving the Hollander Allebach Racing, Old Milwaukee, Orange Crate Brewing, Beer Hill Gang number 5W, Lucas Wolf. Lucas Wolf in the 5W. And rolling towards turn number 2 now from Mercer, Pennsylvania, the Bill McCandless Ford of Meadville, Priest Enterprises, High Tech Lubricants, number 29 of Logan McCandless. Logan McCandless in the 29. And the former full-time high roller, now full-time World of Outlaws driver, rolling into turn 1 from Canton, Illinois, the NOS Energy Drink, King Racing Products, Jim Shuknek, High Performance Lubricants, Phillips and Tosco Developers, number 7S of Chris Wyndham. Chris Wyndham in the 7S. And from Apollo, Pennsylvania, the Mosidis Motorsports, Ducati of Pittsburgh, Hollywood Blasting Coating, Mountain Mechanical, MAV Motorsports, number 42. It's the DJ of the night, Sai Lynch. Sai Lynch in the 42. And rolling down the backstretch from Lubbock, Texas, the Horizon Whiskey, Nice Crete and Landis, ShopTruckParts.com, PhilPools.com, High Performance Lubricants, number 5, Brenham Crouch. Brenham Crouch in the number 5. And the final driver to practice here tonight is from Enumclaw, Washington. And the Curb Records, Bruno's Collection, Crespin Sanitation, Dakota Custom Builders, Curry Pro Solutions, number 9. It's Casey Kane. Casey Kane in the number 9. The final practice session of the night is underway here at Lernerville Speedway for the 34th Don Martin Memorial Silver Cup. Rico Abreu quickly up to second on the speed chart to the 13,395. Sai Lynch now goes to the second spot on the board. Checkered flag is out. Casey Kane up to 6. Rico goes to the top of the board now. A lot of drivers moving into the top 10 and the top 5 in that group, and the fastest overall now is Rico Abreu, 13,215. Tanner Thorson second at 13,331. Sai Lynch in third at 13,368, and Chris Wyndham fourth, 13,381. Kyle Larson rounds out the top 5 at a 13,409. Then Cole Duncan, Casey Kane in that group 7th, Dason Persley 8th, Danny Sams in 9th, and also in that group 10th quick overall, Brenham Crouch. And that will round out our Dirt Draft Hot Lap sessions here tonight at the Lernerville Speedway. The next thing you will see on the racetrack is Capital Custom Trailer qualifying. They are the #1 Renegade Toterhome dealers and the #1 Intech trailer dealers. No one sells more Toterhomes or Intech trailers than Capital Renegade Custom Trailers and Coaches. If you're in the market for a Toterhome or a trailer, trust the people that are there in the pits with you and that support the sport. Check out their complete lineup at www.capitalrenegade.com. So what you're going to see here is 2 cars on the track at the same time. They will go for 2 laps around the track, and their fastest lap time will set them up for a heat race later on in the program. With 32 cars in the pit area, we do split the field in half, so 16 cars will be in Flight A of qualifying, and 16 cars will be in Flight B, and the drivers in their respective flights, Flight A will be heat races 1 and 2, Flight A will be heat races 1 and 2, Flight B will be heat races 3 and 4. Meaning we'll have 8 cars in each heat race later on that will take the top 5 into the big show. The track record, Tony, I know that's what you're about to ask me, set by Brad Sweet, 12.300 on September 26th of 2023.
Ask you, Chase, I was going to make sure you knew it. Hey, you talked about something in the pre-race part of the broadcast. DKW Transport is presenting tonight's High Limit Racing Roulette Redraw Wheel. And with that, DKW owner Sean Loken is putting up $2,000 to the driver in the Roulette Redraw Wheel spin for the FK Rod Ends Dash starting order. The driver that spins the lowest number, yes, they're going to be happy because that will earn them the inside front row starting position to give them the pole for tonight's FK Rod Ends Dash, which lines up the first 4 rows of tonight's A main event. But thanks to DKW Transport presenting that redraw wheel, they are also going to hand out $2,000 to the driver who spins that lowest number. So not only will they get the inside front row starting spot for the FK Rod Ends Dash, they're going to leave here with $2,000. Chase, if I gave you $2,000 right now, what would you spend it on?
I would go buy more of those biscuits from Sheetz. I had 2 of them today for lunch, Tony, and they were just so good. The breakfast biscuit, I think you know what I'm talking about.
Oh, believe me, I know what you're talking about.
$2,000 worth, that'd be a lot.
That's a lot of biscuits, Chase. So that's going to be fun to see what driver leaves here with some extra cash tonight.
Certainly will be, as we now get into Capital Custom Trailer qualifying. Our first 2 cars are rolling onto the Speedway now to take time. First up from Evans City, Pennsylvania, the Bears Truck Service, Bears Supply, and McFarland Lumber, 21st Century Energy Group, number 32B. That is Brandon Spithaller. And also on the track from Stoneboro, Pennsylvania, the Follow Management, H&H Materials, Slippery Rock Materials, Tri-City Raceway Park, number 5X, Jeremy Weaver. Jeremy Weaver in the 5X, Brandon Spithaller in the 32B. Spit Allertine in the Barris Truck Supply 32B car, usually in his own 22. Lap number 1 for Spit Aller is going to be 13.273, 13.273. Weaver on lap 1, 13.618, 13.618. Brandon Spitaller on lap number 2, he will improve to a 13.250, 13.250. Jeremy Weaver finishing up his qualifying effort. Lap number 2, he will improve as well. Stays second overall, 13.550. So Brandon Spitaller sets the bar in Flight A of Capital Custom Trailer qualifying at a 13.250 second lap time. Jeremy Weaver second, 13.550. Next two drivers making their way onto the Speedway for their qualifying run. From Lemoore, California, the All-Boy Girl Tournament, Macedo Valley Transportation, Tarleton and Son, Scott Lloyd Family, Durst Incorporated, number 41. Here is Carson Macedo. And in his Lernerville Speedway debut from Glendale, Arizona, the Pell's Tire Service, RF Knox Company, Newman's Racing Engines, Triple X, DMI, number 1A. Here is Ashton Torgerson. Ashton Torgerson in the 1A, Carson Macedo in the 41. Macedo on lap 1, he goes second quick, 13.279, 13.279. Torgerson on lap 1, he goes third quick, 13.443, 13.443. Macedo's first trip to Lernerville in 3 years. Lap number 2, he will go better but stays second quick at a 13.270. Ashton Torgerson on lap number 2, he will slow down to a 13.587. First lap better, 13.443. Carson Macedo second quick, and Ashton Torgerson in third of 4 cars in Flight A of Capital Custom Trailer qualifying. Getting up to speed now from Lebanon, Indiana. It's the Sander Engineering, Four Seas Construction, Tally, Autry Plumbing, SynCal Demolition, number 14. It is Spencer Bastin. And also on the track, former high roller from Visalia, California, the Red Line Welding and Construction, Smith Titanium, Morrison Engines, King Racing Products, number 45, Corey Eliason. Corey Eliason in the 45, Spencer Bastin in the 14. Spencer Bastin on lap number 1. He'll be fourth quick, 13.495, 13.495. Eliason to complete his first lap of qualifying. Lap 1, it's going to be 6th quick, 13.820, 13.820. Bastin on lap number 2 goes to third quick, 13.385, 13.385. Eliason, a top 5 run here last year with high limit at Lernerville. Lap number 2, he'll go faster but stays 6th overall, 13.661, 13.661. Eliason P6 and Bastin P3 of 6 cars so far in qualifying. From Tonawanda, New York, here's the Airport Collision Fiberworks Composites. Get It Dumpsters, number 7NY. It's Matt Farnham. Matt Farnham in the 7NY. And from Monrovia, Indiana, the Skagit Speedway, Race Redeem Foundation, Ford Performance, Hager Realty, number 26, Justin Peck. So Justin Peck in the 26, Matt Farnham in the 7NY. First time we have seen Farnham since a race back at the Ransomville Speedway in New York. Lap 1 is going to be 7th quick at a 14.161, 14.161. Peck on lap 1. He'll be 7th quick now at a 13.741, 13.741. Farnham was 16th in that race at Ransomville earlier this year. Lap 2 is better, 13.831, 13.831. And for Peck on lap number 2, up to 5th quick now, 13.531, 13.531. Justin Peck 5th and Matt Farnham 8th of 8 cars in Capital Custom Trailer qualifying. Taking time now from Lockbourne, Ohio. Here's the NOS Energy Drink, Spire Motorsports, LA's Custom Trailers and Carts, Brand Professional Agriculture, Gainbridge. Number 7 BC, it's Cole Duncan. Cole Duncan in the 7 BC. And also on the track from Butler, Pennsylvania, the Krill Recycling, Dirty Mouth Communication, Rainier's Pet Dog Training, Reese Body Shop, number 11 of Carl Bowser. Carl Bowser in the 11, Cole Duncan in the 7 BC. Lap number 1 for Duncan is 7th quick, 13.587, 13.587. Carl Bowser on lap 1. He'll be 10th quick, 14.064, 14.064. Lap number 2 for Cole Duncan. He will improve to 5th quick, 13.465, 13.465. Lap number 2 for Bowser. He will slow down just barely to a 14.066. First lap better by 2/1000ths of a second at 14.064. Bowser 10th and Duncan in 5th. 2 full-time high rollers now rolling onto the track for their qualifying efforts from Minerstown, Pennsylvania, and the M&M Painting and Construction, the Crew Equipment Auctions, Baps Paint, Livewire Customs. Number 19 here is Brent Marks. And also on the track from Northport, Florida, the Global Link, Moxie Sports Advisors, NRC Truck Conversions, Tar Heel Property Group, Easter Metal Signs. Number 24D, it's the Florida man, Danny Sams III. Danny Sams on the 24D, Brent Marks on 19. Lap 1 for Marks is 9th quick, 13.677, 13.677. Danny Sams, lap number 1. He'll go 11th quick, 13.839, 13.839. Brent Marks, can he improve on lap number 2? He does not, 13.854. First lap better, 13.677. And for Danny Sams on lap number 2, he will slow down as well to a 13.876. First lap better, 13.839. Sams 11th and Marks 9th of 12 cars with 4 more to run here in Flight A. Here comes the 4-time Silver Cup champion from Elk Grove, California, the Finley Farms, JBI Group, Vulcans Brothers Trucking, Works Limited, All Ball Your Alternative, HendrickCars.com. Number 57, it is Young Money, Kyle Larson. And from Locust Grove, Oklahoma, the Pella, Avanti Windows and Doors, Big Spring Car Wash, Water Treatment by Design, Juniata Concrete, number 13, Dason Persley. Dason Persley in the 13, Kyle Larson in the 57. Lap number 1 for Kyle Larson is going to be 8th quick, 13.601, 13.601. Persley on lap number 1, he's 11th overall, 13.784, 13.784. Kyle Larson on lap number 2, he will stay slower, 13.642. Persley tries the middle on both ends, lap number 2, he goes to the top of the board, 13.242, 13.242, and Persley just gave everybody else sitting back in the pits the line to run. The middle on both ends of the speedway is where you want to be at right now. The Boog Motorsports car to the top of the board. Final car now on the track for Flight A of qualifying from Jacksonville, Oregon. Here's the Shane DeWalt Trucking, Legacy Builder Supply, Orville Tax Sisters Meat and Smokehouse, number 18T. It's Tanner Holmes. Tanner Holmes tonight in his Lernerville Speedway debut. Not sure if he got the memo in time to run the middle there, as Persley was the car just ahead of him. Tanner Holmes a couple top 5 runs this year with Kubota Highland Racing, lap number 1. He'll be 14th overall to 13.865, 13.865. Had a second place run on Wednesday night at Eldora Speedway during his double down duel. Lap number 2 for Tanner Holmes is going to be better, up to 12th overall, 13.741, 13.741. That will do it for Flight A of qualifying. Dason Persley, the fastest driver overall, 13.242 by just 8/1000ths of a second. Oh, it looks like we did have one car that did not come out in his scheduled portion of the rundown here. And this is Todd Berger, the driver out of Cabot, Pennsylvania, the Beer Nation Goodland Pools, number 4K. Todd Berger out there on the track now, getting the green flag this time by. Rolled into that pit area earlier on today to get the information on the car, and we didn't know who the driver was going to be when I went over there. They got 3 different drivers in that pit area. Bill Kiley, the car owner, Kip Edwards, a former driver of this machine, and the aforementioned Todd Berger, who's out there on the track now. Lap 1 for Berger is a 15.638, 15.638. Bill Kiley said that he was going to run the car if it started to get cloudy, but it said it's a little bit too hot out there for him, and so they put Todd Berger in the car to run against High Limit tonight. Lap number 2, he'll slow down to a 15.773. First lap better, 15.638, and that will officially leave Dason Persley at the top of Flight A of qualifying tonight, 13.242. Brandon Spitaler second, Carson Macedo third, Spencer Basin fourth, and Ashton Torgerson in fifth. Interesting way to start off qualifying tonight, Tony.
Yeah, absolutely, Chase. And then just a quick update before Flight B gets going here. Corey Day was scheduled to race tonight in that second Jason Myers Racing 14 BC entry as the 4K continues to roll around here. They're going to get him off the speedway. Corey Day and Jason Myers Racing pairing up for a limited schedule with High Limit here in 2025. Corey Day in the pit area, as is the number 14 BC, but a kind of a last minute came out of nowhere sickness has absolutely sidelined Corey Day. He feels awful right now, fighting a migraine and having a hard time keeping food down. So that is the reason you will not see that second Jason Myers Racing car out on track. Corey Day set the world on fire with High Limit last year. He will not be on track with us, feels absolutely sick to his stomach. We're going to miss out on getting to see him tonight.
Yeah, that's tough. Corey Day was put on a show here last year at Lernerville Speedway as we now roll into Flight B of qualifying. Next up from Struthers, Ohio, the JS Bova Excavating, Southern Eastern Equipment, Pro Quality Demolition, Seneca Bob Sub Shop. Number 20B, here's Cody Bova. And from Hubbard, Ohio, in the Kingdom Classics, IC Electric, Capo Supply, Blue Ribbon Dry Cleaners, number 47, it's Brett Brunkenhofer. Brett Brunkenhofer in the 47, Cody Bova in the 20B. Lap 1 for Bova is going to be a 13.970, 13.970. Brett Brunkenhofer on the opening lap, a 15.549, 1.5549. Bova 14th with high limit here last year at the Silver Cup. Lap number 2, he'll slow down to a 14.261. First lap better, 13.970. And for Brett Brunkenhofer, he will slow down as well to a 15.585. His first go-around was a 15.549. Second quick for Brett Brunkenhofer. And first so far for Cody Bova of 2 cars in Flight B. The newest Kings Royal champion now rolls onto the track from Dillsburg, Pennsylvania. The J&S Classics Whitecap C&D Rigging, Class 1 Transportation, Randy Shear, Heating and Plumbing, number 39M. Here's Anthony Macri. And also on the track, the 8-time champion here from Apollo, Pennsylvania. The Fence by Maintenance, Ferguson Heating and Air Conditioning, Trinega Construction, Worthington Steel, Molly. Number 2, it's AJ Flick. AJ Flick in the 2, Anthony Macri in the 39M. Macri on lap number 1 is to the top, 13.907, 139.07. AJ Flick on lap number 1 is going to be 14.173, 14173. Macri tries the middle on lap number 2. He will go now to the top, a little bit higher now, 13.247, 13247. Lap number 2 for AJ Flick. He will slow down to a 14.070. Actually ran better on lap number 2, 14070. Flick third, and Macri now to the top of the board in Flight B so far. Just 4 cars in and 11 remain. Should be 12 remaining, but we did just hear from Tony Laporte that Corey Day will not make it out. As our next 2 now roll on to the Speedway from Minden, Nevada. Here's the JST Motorsports and the Richwell Smith Titanium Factory Cane. Maximo Racing Oils, number 88, it's Tanner Thorson. And from Waco, Texas, the all-value alternative, Infamous Inc., Bush's Chicken, Flint Rock Ranch, Easy Print, number 9R, the quickest chicken, Chase Randall. Chase Randall, the 9R, Tanner Thorson in the 88. Thorson, he knows the line, tries to run the middle down here in turns 3 and 4. Lap 1 is second quick, 13.625, 13625. Chase Randall on lap number 1, he'll go third quick, 13.790, 13790. Tanner Thorson on lap number 2, he'll go faster, 13.409, 13409. Chase Randall, can he find improvement? He will not, 13.977. First lap better, 13.790. Tanner Thorson second, and Chase Randall third of 6 drivers so far in Flight B of qualifying. From Alice Springs, Northern Territory, Australia, here's the Tarleton & Son American Rock and Rent. Durst Incorporated Banning Associates, number 21. The pilot is James McFadden. And from right here in Sarver, PA, Is That Right Fishing Charters, Vision Line Services, Camel Towing, Fairhope Property Investors, number 3J. It's Jacob Begenwald. Jacob Begenwald in the 3J. James McFadden in the 21. McFadden on lap number 1 rides the cushion. Will it work out for him? Third quick, 13.699, 13699. Jacob Begenwald on lap 1. He'll be at 7th overall, 14.511, 14511. McFadden, can he improve on lap number 2? Goes faster, but still third quick, 13.572, 13.572. Jacob Begenwald will finish up his qualifying effort. He's slower on lap 2 to a 14.744. First lap faster at a 14.511. Here come your next 2 qualifiers from Canton, Illinois. Here's the NOS Energy Drink, King Racing Products, Jim Schutnecht, High Performance Lubricants, Phillips and Tosco Developers, number 7S, it's Chris Wyndham. And from Lubbock, Texas, Horizon Whiskey, Nice Creek and Landis, ShopTruckParts.com, PhilPools.com, High Performance Lubricants, number 5, Brenham Crouch. Brenham Crouch in the 5, Chris Wyndham in the 7S. Chris Wyndham Was here several times last year with High Limit, had a top 10 run during the Commonwealth Clash. Lap number 1 is fourth quick, 13.634, 1.3634. Crouch on lap 1 is seventh quick, 14.062, 1.4062. Chris Windham through the middle in turns 3 and 4. Lap number 2 is third quick, 13.555, 1.3555. Crouch on lap 2 better on time, but stays seventh overall at a 13.994, 13.994. Crouch seventh and Windham now third. Should have 5 more cars left to qualify from Mercer, Pennsylvania. There's the Bill McCandless Ford. McCandless Ford of Meadville. Priest Enterprises High-Tech Lubricants, number 29. It is Logan McCandless. And from Enumclaw, Washington, the Curb Records, Brumo's Collection, Craftsman Sanitation, Dakota Custom Builders, Curry Pro Solutions, number 9, Casey Kane. Casey Kane in the 9. Logan McCandless in the 29. McCandless making his first High Limit Racing start of the season. Lap number 1 for him is going to be 9th overall to 14.504, 1.4504. Casey Kane on lap number 1, third quick, 13.425, 13.425. Logan McCandless on lap number 2. He will improve, but stays 10th overall to 14.344. Casey Kane on lap number 2. He'll slow down to a 13.593. And Kane is over the banking and spinning in turn 2. Casey Kane got over the edge of the banking over in the first corner and has the car pointed towards the trees. His lap time was better on lap number, better on lap 2 at a 13.425. He's third overall, Tony.
Chase, we all make mistakes sometimes, and Casey Kane just stumbling over the top of the second turn over there. That's where Corey Day went for his big ride. Last season when we were here, here's a live look, or not a live look, but a replay at Casey Kane. Wow, yeah, he just tried to carry as much speed in through turns 1 and 2 as he could. Great to see such a strong effort, don't you think, from the driver of that KSP number 9 after the hard hit he took on Friday night back at Eldora. But heck, it honestly feels like we could say that about half the field. Just glad to see them back out on the track after the week we had in Eldora.
Absolutely. Casey Kane, a former All-Star Circuit of Champions winner here at Lernerville. That came back in 1999. As our next 2 cars are about to take the green flag from Mechanicsburg, Pennsylvania, the Hollander Ullebach Racing, Old Milwaukee, Orange Crate Brewing, Beer Hill Gate, number 5W. This is Lucas Wolf. And also on the track, the DJ of the night from Apollo, Pennsylvania, the Mercedes Motorsports, Ducati of Pittsburgh, Hollywood Blasting Coating, Mountain Mechanical, MAV Motorsports, number 42, Sai Lynch. Sai Lynch in the 42, Lucas Wolf in the 5W. Both drivers on the clock now. Lucas Wolf, a 4th place run here with the World of Outlaws back in 2015. Lap 1 for him is going to be 10th overall to 14.107. Sai Lynch on lap 1, 4th quick, 13.512, 1.3512. Lucas Wolf coming through turns 3 and 4. Can he improve on lap number 2? He will go up to 10th overall, and for Sai Lynch on lap 2, better up to the 3rd spot, 13.421. Sai Lynch now 3rd, and Lucas Wolf now 10th, with 1 more car left to qualify. And that final car to qualify is the defending Silver Cup champion from St. Helena, California, the Rico Abreu, Curvagaginian Racing, Swan Island Sheet Metal, Pacific Boring, Spankins Motorsports, number 24, it's Rico Abreu. Rico Abreu in the 24. Final driver to qualify. We mentioned he was the Silver Cup winner here last season. A 9-time feature winner so far in 2025. Rico going to point that car right to the middle of the racetrack. Lap number 1. He'll be 11th overall to 14.023. 1.4023. Was 3rd back at the Joker's Jackpot last Thursday night at Eldora Speedway. Got the win of the night before the Kings Royal. Ended up on the podium for the Kings Royal. Lap number 2. He'll go up to 8th quick. 13.889. 13.889. 8th quick for Rico. And that will wrap things up for Capital Custom Trailer qualifying. Fastest in Flight B was Anthony Macri, the 39M, 13.247 seconds. Tanner Thorson 2nd, Sai Lynch 3rd, Casey Kane 4th, and Chris Windham in the top 5. James McFadden, Chase Randall, Rico Abreu, Cody Bova, and Brenham Crouch the top 10. But your fastest driver overall here tonight for the 5th time this year, it's the Race Redeem Foundation Rookie of the Year contender, Dason Persley. 13.242 seconds. Aaron Reitzel has the most quick times by a wide margin, but second in the series is the young driver out of Locust Grove, Oklahoma. His 5th quick time of the year comes at Lernerville Speedway, a place where last year he didn't even make the show with High Limit Racing. That was driving a different race car, obviously, but personally, the first car to go to the middle in Flight A of qualifying, showing everybody else where to be at, and it paid off for him. Well, race fans, now it is time for the M&R Power Equipment FanFest, which is going to take place from right now until 7:25. 7:25 is when opening ceremonies are set to begin. So all of the drivers that you just saw on the racetrack are the ones that have t-shirt trailers, will be going back to those t-shirt trailers right now behind the main grandstands. It's a FanFest sponsored by M&R Power Equipment. Looking for power you can count on? Come see the team at M&R Power Equipment. From Kubota RTVs and tractors to zero-turn mowers and handheld tools, M&R Power Equipment carries the brands professionals trust. Whether you're tackling a backyard project or managing serious acreage, M&R has the tools to help you work smarter, not harder. Visit them in-store in Hermitage or online at mrpowerequipment.com and experience the power behind every job. M&R Power Equipment, your local experts in outdoor equipment parts and service. Tony, what do you have to say?
Chase, I think Sai Lynch, you talked about the drivers that are going to be back there during the FanFest. Sai Lynch does not travel up and down the road with a merchandise trailer, but I do believe, and I'm going to confirm this, and we'll fact check this when we come back after some commercials and let people on the PA here know, but I believe Sai Lynch will still be back behind the front stretch grandstands at the M&R tent. They have an activation set up over in what would be, I guess, the turn 4 side of the FanFest. Sai Lynch will be over there signing autographs. He may not have a t-shirt trailer that travels with us this season, but of course you can't miss getting a Sai Lynch autograph when you come to Western Pennsylvania. I saw you getting several items signed in the pit area by Sai Lynch. Chase, hopefully you don't plan on selling those for a profit. That would not be cool. But Sai Lynch will be back there signing autographs, and then I understand you have a plan to have a special guest come up and join you in the booth for a conversation while fans enjoy that FanFest.
Yeah, that is currently the plan, Tony Laporta. We will have a driver up here to chat with us for about 10 or 15 minutes before we get into opening ceremony. So once again, the M&R Power Equipment FanFest going on from right now until 7:25. Go meet your favorite driver, get a picture, get an autograph, buy a piece of merchandise for about the next, 20-ish minutes here at Lernerville Speedway. For those of you watching on Flow, we'll come back and we'll have a special guest up here in the booth.
Hey, I'm Kyle Larson, and you're watching Kubota High Limit Racing on FloRacing.
Introducing the My Kubota app. With My Kubota, connecting with your local dealer is easier than ever. Find them with just a tap and contact them quickly for any assistance you need. Access comprehensive resources like how-to guides, owner's manuals, fault codes, maintenance schedules, and more. Everything you need to keep your Kubota running smoothly. Download the app today.
Capital Custom Trailers and Coaches. We are the #1 Renegade Toterhome dealer and the #1 Intech and Bravo Sprint Car Trailer dealer. No one sells more Toterhomes and Sprint Car Trailers than we do. Check out our complete lineup at capitalrenegade.com. If you're in the market for a Toterhome or a trailer, trust the people that are in the pits with you and that support the sport.
Winning doesn't just happen. You have to engineer it. You have to test it and make it better than it was the last time. Our engineers have the passion to create the parts you need, the way you need them to be, again and again and again. We've led this game for over 40 years, and we design, refine, and perfect every valve-train part worthy of the winner's circle.
When it comes to magneto ignition performance, there's only one name that you can trust, and that's BR Motorsports Ignitioneering. Servicing the racing industry for over 30 years, our state-of-the-art Magneto Dyno Test Lab facility is equipped with the most technically advanced equipment available. And that's why crew chiefs like Paul Silva and Philip Dietz choose BR for all their ignition needs. To learn more, visit us at brpromag.com.
What are you doing with the Johnson sofa?
They had a pipe break. Water leaked all over.
Really?
I'm a roto-rooter plumber.
Really?
We do water cleanup, too.
Really?
Yeah.
Call Roto-Rooter for plumbing and water cleanup. Yeah, we do both.
And welcome back. You're getting a look right now at the FanFest taking place here at Lernerville Speedway, which will be taking place for about the next 25 minutes before we get into opening ceremonies here tonight for the 34th Don Martin Memorial Silver Cup. At the top of the broadcast, Tony Laporte and I were talking about the injuries sustained to 3 of our drivers that are with Highlander Racing full-time. Top 3 in the points, Brad Sweet, Tyler Courtney, and Aaron Reitzel. The 87 car driven by Reitzel, the 49 driven by Brad Sweet, not here tonight using the medical provisional inside the Highlander Racing rulebook. On the other hand, the Clausen Marshall Racing 7BC team have elected to put a driver in the car for tonight, and he's standing by with us now here in the booth. It's Cole Duncan. Cole, thanks for joining us up here in the tower. You got the NOS hat on. You're ready to go. What has it been like here so far? I saw you kind of roll up earlier today with your seat insert and whatnot, and you got fitted in the car and everything. Qualified decent, going to start outside row 1 in heat 2. So how have things gone so far?
Yeah, first of all, thanks for having me on, and we want to send our well wishes to all the drivers that are hurt. You know, I talked to Tyler a little bit this morning, and given the circumstances, I think he's doing pretty good. Seemed like his spirits were up a little bit, and I think that I even saw they got him up and walking today. So
that's good.
That's really cool. But yeah, we, you know, it's hard to jump into a car that you don't know. You know, I've literally never run these motors, never run these cars, and just a new team. And I feel like we're pretty decent out of the gate. You know, I screwed up probably a little bit in 1 and 2 qualifying. Looked like it moved down the track there a little bit later, and we probably could have went a little faster, but we're on the front row, so if we can win the heat, then puts us in a good position.
Would definitely put you guys in the dash. So, I mean, when did this whole thing come about? When did these guys give you the call or shoot you the text and say, hey, we need you to fill in for Tyler?
Yeah, I was on my way home from work on, would that have been Friday, I guess? And Jake gave me a call and asked if I was interested in helping these guys out, and the automatic answer is absolutely. You know,
I've known Tyler since I was probably 6, racing quarter midgets with him. We've been good friends. Great friends with Jake. I grew up looking up to Tim and Brian, so just a no-brainer for me. It was pretty easy to get off work for today, and I just can't thank those guys enough for even, it's an honor to even be considered to drive such a prestigious car, and hopefully we can make them all proud.
Yeah, that was going to be my next question. I mean, I feel like the people that are in the know of sprint car racing, they know that you're one of the more, I feel like, underrated drivers in the entire country. So very good in the specifically in the state of Ohio, but we've seen you travel around and do some good things as well. But how awesome is that for you? Out of all the different drivers they could have picked, they decided to give you a call to run tonight. Yeah, like I said, it's just it surprised me really. We haven't got to race as much. We were just talking, this is probably about the least amount of races that I've run to this point in the season so far, and just a huge honor. I don't really consider myself maybe in that category just because we don't get to run a lot of the high limit races or the outlaw races or whatever it may be, but we try and hit the big races close to home and do what makes sense for us. But I'm proud that they noticed, that they think I'm capable, and hopefully we can do a good job for them. Yeah, you've gotten a win here before, I believe 2015, if I'm not mistaken, at a local show when you've won, or you've ran top 10 and top 5 with the All-Stars here before, so you've got plenty of laps at Lernerville Speedway. How do you feel about yourself and this racetrack? Do you think you can maybe end up inside the top 10 tonight? Do you feel your abilities at this track are good enough to make that happen? Yeah, absolutely. This is probably one of my top 3 favorite tracks, has been since I started when I was a kid. It just suits my driving style. We don't get to come here as much as we used to, just work and life duties and whatever, but it's always been one of my favorite racetracks. It's just got a great shape and a packed crowd tonight, which is awesome. And so, yeah, I think this would have been one of the 2 or 3 tracks if I had to choose to jump into something like this situation that I feel like we could run really well at. So, hopefully we can exceed the top 10 and go for a win. We'll see if that's the case. Tony, I know you're down in the infield. You might have a question or two for Cole Duncan here.
Yeah, Cole, see, I actually didn't know that you and Tyler Courtney's crew chief, Jake Argo, had a relationship. And to me, that's one of, if not the biggest part of success in this game, right? Rico Abreu just made a really cool, really heartfelt post about scoring his 40th feature victory with his crew chief, National Sprint Car Hall of Fame member Ricky Warner. This is not easy, right? You know that, we all know that, and having a car underneath you that works, but having a car that the crew chief and the team believe will work with their experience with that race car, that's so difficult. So the communication between you and Jake Argo is going to be as important as ever. What has that early stage of communication been like? You have an existing friendship with him, but do you guys have a good technical kind of dialogue? The language you use and Jake uses might be very different. Has something like that already popped up, even though we're very early into the night here?
Yeah, Jake and I talked when we got here, just kind of like you stated, your terminology and what, when I say the car's doing something, what exactly it means. And Jake is obviously one of the best that wrenches on these things. So for him, it's probably easier than it is for me. But no, those guys are so great to work with. That NOS car is just a pristine piece. They have every piece of the puzzle they need, and there's a reason that they win races and win championships.
Now, speaking of championships, obviously, I'm sure you pay attention a little bit to High Limit, hopefully, and you know that these guys are right in the thick of this thing. We know the franchise system coming next year, and you know that this team is 12 points behind the KKR 49, and with an opportunity tonight for you to maybe get up there, and if you run top 5, that they would be tied in points. Are there any, I guess, expectations, nerves? Are you worried about that, or are you kind of just not really thinking about it, just go out there and trying to run the best you can?
I feel like just after talking to Tim and Jake and Tyler and everybody, I'm probably more worried about it than they are. Yeah. They haven't mentioned it to me at all. It's been in the back of my mind, but I just want to do them a good job and hopefully put on a performance that makes that whole team proud at the end of the night, and hopefully that's somewhere in the top 5. So I would like to make them better off after tonight than worse off. Yeah. So. That's just some pressure that I'm putting on myself, but none of them have even mentioned any of the point standing or the charter or anything like that. So that makes me feel a little bit better, but it's still you got to put pressure on yourself too.
I think you definitely do. Cole, you've won a couple races this year. You won against the All-Stars during Ohio Sprint Speed Week at Moeller. Got a fast win at Skyline as well in Ohio. Tony, what else you got?
Yeah, Cole, that's a phenomenal question by Chase, right? When you think about the pressure that you kind of step into, right, with this team, fighting for a championship spot, fighting to maintain their franchise with Kubota High Limit Racing. And I'm not asking for you to give us any setup notes. I'm not asking for any tire pressures or ride heights here. So relax. But do you have a fundamentally different taste in how your race car handles than Tyler Courtney? Obviously, Jake Argo and that crew probably went back to more of a neutral baseline for you to get comfortable in, but what kind of feel do you search for in a race car? And based on what you've learned about the 7BC, do you know if it's very different or very similar than what Tyler Courtney typically likes in that 7BC?
Just knowing Tyler and watching him on TV and whatever, I think Tyler and I have kind of opposite driving styles, honestly. I kind of like to drive the car off the right rear, and I like to feel the right rear underneath of me, and Tyler looks like he has a little bit of that non-wing approach where the right rear is kind of hung out. But at the end of the day, if you can, if Jake gets a car that has traction, traction's king, so I felt really good there, and I felt like Jake gave me a really good car, and we've got traction, we're into the racetrack, and ultimately it's my job to adjust to that. So I don't think Tyler and I have real similar styles, but a good crew chief like Jake can, they can build traction into their car, and it just makes it easier for the driver.
We mentioned that you will be starting second in DMI Racing Components Heat Race number 2. Got to win that to be in the dash. You run second, you're still going to start inside the top 10. But Cole, we'll let you go. It was great catching up with you, man. And I just think it's awesome that, you're friends. You've raced against Tyler since you guys were kids, and I think it's so cool that they called you as a friend of the driver that's injured for you to get this chance. It's definitely a great opportunity. We wish you good luck tonight.
Well, I appreciate you guys having me on, and thanks to Tim and Jake and Richard and all the guys with the Clausen Marshall team, and for having me out tonight, and hopefully we can make their night better.
All right, that's Cole Duncan. He's driving the NOS Energy Drink 7BC for Clausen Marshall Racing. Tonight, we do understand as well that Giovanni Scelzi will finish out the year for that car when we get to the West Coast in California on August 15th at Tulare Thunderbolt Raceway. So that's great to catch up with Cole here tonight. We'll take a break here on Flow. We are about 15-ish minutes away from getting underway with opening ceremonies tonight at the Don Martin Memorial Silver Cup.
Established in 1983, FK Rod Ends has been the industry leader for both midget and micro racing. Family owned and operated, we take pride in our products and our name because we know you value yours. Visit our website, www.fkrodends.com, to find out how you can join our winning team. FK Rod Ends. To beat the best, you've got to use the best.
Is it all a fever dream? I'm burning gasoline. And Rico goes back to the high side. Get to the bushes. Into the turn now. Look to the inside of turn 1.
Avery to the outside. Major contact.
Save your lunch money for.
Welcome to the High
Limit Room. So you're young, what are you, 18?
I'm 18.
Thank you so much.
Yeah, of course. Appreciate it. I'm mic'd up. Just be careful. Dude, I smoked it so hard it threw the right front up over the concrete rail and blew the axle out of the thing, and I limped it across the line. I always try and take a couple minutes before I get in the car and just try and run the race through my head. Yeah, finally back to a small track. What's up, buddy? Oh, what you got? Sweet. Appreciate it, man. Have a good one.
Motorhead will go 6 o'clock in the staging lane.
All right, good luck. Racing for Driven to Save Lives is, for a cause. It's cool that I get to represent it and, hopefully get more people to sign up for organ donation.
Introducing the My Kubota app. With My Kubota, connecting with your local dealer is easier than ever. Find them with just a tap and contact them quickly for any assistance you need. Access comprehensive resources like how-to guides, owner's manuals, fault codes, maintenance schedules, and more. Everything you need to keep your Kubota running smoothly. Download the app today.
Minutes away from opening ceremonies getting underway here at Lernerville Speedway as we are still in the middle of our M&R Power Equipment FanFest going on here tonight at the Silver Cup. We weren't able to complete our entire pre-race show, so we'd like to finish that up now with, of course, the way that you can wager on the races. If you'd like to get involved with nxtbets.com/playhlr, while you are on that website, it'll show you which sports picks are available in your region, and you can claim a sign-up bonus on there as well. Here are the odds for the winners tonight. The outright winners: Kyle Larson comes in as the favorite, plus 132. Rico Abier at plus 239. Both of those drivers not off to a hot start so far tonight in qualifying. Anthony Macri plus 758. James McFadden at plus 900. Brent Marks, Justin Peck, Tanner Holmes, Tanner Thorson. A couple of the longer shots down there on the right side of that graphic there. But the Rodman risk, as per usual, is going to go a little bit more risky than that. Sai Lynch. It is time for him to get a top 5 this year. It is time for him to contend for a win here at his home track. Last year during the Commonwealth Clash, he was second on both nights with Highland Racing. At the Silver Cup, he got upside down while running very, very well. And yeah, his odds at plus 61.89, a $10 bet would net you a very, very nice profit of $618. And so I think Sai Lynch, for those odds and how good he's been here at Lernerville in recent time, I think that is an easy one. nxtbets.com/playhlr, and you can also get in on the fun and play for real money with High Limit Racing. Now, last year we mentioned the Silver Cup. This is the 34th edition. Last year, of course, was the 33rd. We talked about the defending winner of the race, that being Rico Abreu. And, you know, if you didn't watch these highlights, if you didn't watch the race, you weren't here live, you didn't watch it on Flow, you would think, okay, maybe Rico just, you know, started on the front row and ran away and did his whole thing. That was not the case. He came from 9th, and there was some drama at the front of the field. Let's take a look back 1 year ago to last year's Don Martin Memorial Silver Cup. Let's go racing off at turn number 4. We are green. Down the front stretch into turn number 1. Tyler Courtney will get the first call. He'll have the race lead down the back straightaway. Jailbreak as they make their way down the backside. James McFadden makes his way into the second position, quickly by the 14 of Corey Day. But Day has him at the line. Corey Day back around the outside to maintain P2. McFadden back underneath him into turn number 1 and 2. But Corey Day too strong around the outside. Into turn number 1, James McFadden looking for second. Rico Abreu looking for third. Abreu not able to make his way by Corey Day. Abreu pulls to the right rear of McFadden. Now McFadden going to try and roll the bottom. Meanwhile, Brad Sweet's into the top, side down, big time. It's Brandon Spithaler. Brandon Spithaler was having a great run before that incident. 13th place at the time. Hard to tell, but you could see Spithaler's on the top and then comes down the track, it looks like, at least from that vantage point there, and gets into the right rear. And the driver is out of the race car. So Brandon Spithaler is okay. He's out of the car, walking around, communicating with the Lernerville Speedway officials and High Limit Racing officials down there. Single file restart due to contact on a double file. We're back underway. McFadden quickly to the bottom in turn number 1, trying to find a way by Corey Day, but Day's too strong around the outside. Oh, Brad Sweet. That was a close call right there as Anthony Macri nearly shoved him off the back straightaway. Sweet gathers the car back in. He's challenged on the inside now by Sai Lynch. James McFadden up to second. McFadden takes it across the line from Corey Day. Closing in on Tyler Courtney down the front straightaway. Rico Abreu underneath of Corey Day. Abreu has got the third spot in turn 1. Rico Abreu, the Durst Ice Roll driver, is up to third. Around the outside, trying to take the second spot across the line. McFadden shut the door at the end. Oh, upside down front straightaway. It is Sai Lynch in the 42, and he is looking straight up at the sky, coming to the green. Back underway. Courtney goes to the bottom, gets a little bit tight on entry. That might leave some room to the outside as James McFadden going to dive to the inside in turn 3. McFadden strikes in the third corner, takes the race lead away, slide to the racetrack, they get together. Courtney goes around. Tyler Courtney goes around off turn 4, and the yellow flag comes back out. Wow. And McFadden's got a problem. McFadden now goes to the work area, the flat right rear, and that hands the lead to the Durst Ice Roll driver, Rico Abreu. 9 to go for 25K. At the Don Martin Memorial Silver Cup, we're back underway. Abreu going to take his car straight to the outside in turn 1. Brad Sweet keeps his car pinned to the bottom, slides it up on the exit. We've seen him use that move several times to victory here in the past couple of years at Lernerville Speedway. Abreu rips the cushion in turn 4, comes across the line, 8 laps to go. Brad Sweet right behind him, looks to the inside in turn number 1, but don't forget about Corey Day. Day gets a good run off of turn number 2. Might look at Brad Sweet for the second spot. Down the back straightaway, Sweet goes to the bottom protect. That means that Day's going to have to slide to the cushion and lose a little bit of ground to the Napa Auto Parts number 49 car. Corey Day down the back straightaway to the inside of Brad Sweet. Gonna move him up off the racetrack, and Corey Day has got second across the line. Can Corey Day close the gap on Rico Abreu? 5 laps to go. Corey Day in his Lernerville Speedway debut going to have to make up about 1.4 seconds here in the final 4 laps. If anybody can do it, we know that this 18-year-old driver is the one. He is so good at ripping the top of the racetrack. That time by off at turn number 2, turned it down the hill. Abreu going to go to the bottom, might open up the lane, might open up some momentum for Corey Day down the front straightaway. Day now with an 0.8 of a second, 3 laps to go. Abreu switching the lineup. Here comes Corey Day around the outside. Battle for the lead at the Silver Cup. Down the back straightaway. Corey Day now going to go to the bottom. Abreu searching around. Cannot find grip, cannot find speed. 2 laps to go. 2 laps to go. Abreu back to the outside, and Corey Day makes a mistake. Corey Day hopped the cushion, keeps on going. White flag is coming for Rico Abreu. Traffic up ahead of him. 1 to go. Rico around the outside. Has Zeb Wise to deal with. Corey Day, not close enough. Down the back straightaway. For the 6th time in 2024, the Dirt's Dice Roll is claimed for $8,000. Rico Abreu gets the win at Lernerville Speedway. Corey Day, Brad Sweet, Anthony Macri, and Corey Elias in the top 5 here tonight. And welcome back to Lernerville Speedway. We do need the Aussie baseball team down to the flag stand here. Aussie baseball team, we need you down to the flag stand for opening ceremonies coming up here in about 3 minutes' time. Do want to look at the upcoming High Limit Racing schedule if we do have the chance to do so. We do got a little bit of time here before we get into opening ceremonies. And here is that schedule. Obviously, after tonight, we are off for quite some time. The next race, the Tulare Thunderbolt in California on August 15th. Following that, it's a stop in at the Placerville Speedway on August 16th up there, a little bit closer to Northern California. And then we're up in NorCal after that for the Gold Cup Race of Champions. Of course, that is a $100,000 to win show on Saturday night with 2 prelim nights as well on Thursday and Friday. Following that, it's a midweek series trip. It's not a Roto-Rooter midweek series like tonight is, but it is a race in the middle of the week up at the Douglas County Dirt Track in Oregon for the Showdown on the River. And then a few nights later, it's another $100,000 to win show at the Skagit Speedway in Alger, Washington on August 28th, 29th, and 30th. Then we make our way back over to the East Coast for a big $58,000 to win show at the Port Royal Speedway for the Tuscarora 50. That is on September 4th, 5th, and 6th. And then following that, that's kind of, I mean, the season's almost over after that. We come back here to Lernerville on September 12th and 13th for the Commonwealth Clash. We have a makeup race at Lawrenceburg Speedway in Indiana, then Eldora, then Bridgeport, Path Valley, Lakeside, Lucas Oil, and finish things off at the Texas Motor Speedway Dirt Track in Fort Worth to cap off this thing and crown a champion here in 2025 with Kubota High Limit Racing. Looking forward to seeing who will be that champion, especially how things have gotten turned on their head here in the recent week or so with the top 3. We've mentioned that several times here tonight, and we're going to be talking about it more later on in the program, as that just definitely adds another wrinkle to the already fascinating championship group that we have this year. Tony, what do you got going on in the infield?
Chase, we're getting ready to kick off opening ceremonies down here. A little bit of a twist. We've got members of the Australian baseball team who are playing not too far from here. I think we had something like this happen last year. They're going to come on down and perform the Australian National Anthem in a few moments. But before we get to that, I'd like to welcome in Miss Julia Badger with M&R Power Equipment. M&R Power Equipment presenting tonight's FanFest. How about a round of applause for M&R Power Equipment, Lernerville? Julia, thanks for being down here and hanging out with us. So you guys are here because you're a proud Kubota dealer. Love the Kubota orange, by the way. You and I were talking back in the pit area. This is not your first time to a sprint car race. You know the sport, you know the drivers, you know what's going on. What do you think of the show that Kubota High Limit Racing puts on here in Western PA?
Yeah, I think they put on a phenomenal show, and we're happy to be here. M&R is so excited.
I know you guys have some locations nearby. You can walk in there. There's probably a wide range of Kubotas that people can take a look at. What all can you find inside of an M&R Power Equipment?
Yeah, so we're your preferred local Kubota dealer, and you can find anything from your RTVs to construction equipment to zero turns to tractors.
Now, I saw Sai Lynch, I think, was over signing autographs at your guys' tent. That's really cool. Sai Lynch, obviously a star, not just here in the state of Pennsylvania, but around the country in big-time 410 National Sprint Car Racing. Lernerville Speedway puts on great events every single time, whether it's a weekly show, whether it's a national tour. I got to ask you, do you have your spot picked out? Do you know where you're going to sit and enjoy tonight's racing from?
No, I haven't decided that yet, but hopefully somewhere good.
You've been walking around, you've been occupying that fan activation tent over there. Thanks a bunch for bringing us the FanFest here tonight. And where can folks go to learn a little bit more about M&R Power Equipment? I'm sure you guys have a website. And where are your stores around the track here?
Yeah, so we're located in Butler, PA, across from the Butler Farm Show. And you can look us up on mrpowerequipment.com, or you can go to Facebook at MR Power Equipment Butler.
Julia, thanks so much for being here. We really appreciate your support.
Thank you.
How about it one more time for M&R Power Equipment, Julia Badger coming and hanging out with us here tonight. Opening ceremonies very, very close to starting. Chase Rodman, back up to you.
Yeah, thank you very much, Tony. We are getting very close to opening ceremonies here tonight. For those of you that may be at your first ever sprint car race this evening, which I did actually meet somebody earlier on today that that is indeed the case for them. While you wouldn't know about the format tonight, the heat races are about to come onto the racetrack in just a few moments. We'll have 8 laps in each heat race. The top 5 finishers will move on to the A main event. The rest will go to a B main, and then 4 will transfer from that, and we'll have a 35-lap feature. Once again, paying $25,000 to the winner. Nothing like a $25,000 payday on a Tuesday night. That's just the name of the game with High Limit Racing. We tend to do that pretty often throughout the 2025 season with all of our Roto-Rooter Midweek Series events. This is actually the 8th Roto-Rooter Midweek Series event of the season, a mini championship built into the full season championship. And so there is a bonus paid out to the top 3 drivers in that midweek series throughout the 2025 season. There is 11 races in that, and so tonight is number 8. So after this evening, we have a couple of more before we determine who those top 3 are in that championship. Looks like the drivers are now on the front straightaway, staged up for their heat race. Let's go downstairs for opening ceremonies tonight. It's Tony Laporta.
Thanks very much, Chase. Lernerville Speedway, we are getting ready to kick off opening ceremonies here. So at this time, I ask all of you who are here in attendance with us, if you are able to please rise as we welcome track chaplain Andy Seigan as he leads us in tonight's invocation.
Thank you so much. Thank you, Kyle Larson, for bringing High Limit to Lernerville Speedway. 2 quick things. Kate Blaney, keep her in her prayers. She just passed away. That's Ryan Blaney's grandmother, Dave Blaney's mother. And I know you guys are watching. Aaron, Tyler, Brad, heal quickly. We love you, and we certainly miss you here tonight. Let's bow our heads in prayer. Almighty God, in Romans 8:28, you say that you work all things for the goodness of us that are believers. Lord, help us understand you didn't create this earth and this world to be an innocent bystander. You're an active participant. Lord, help us understand our certainty does not depend on our feelings or our foresight. It depends on our faith in you. And as we go through our trials and tribulations in our daily life, Lord, and sometimes we get frustrated and angry, let us live in confidence and happiness and calmness that you are in control and you're working everything for our goodness. And lastly, Lord, help us to realize that what we think in the flesh is good, earthly things, visual things, shiny and sparkly things mean nothing. But what you think is good is conforming us to the image of your Son, Jesus Christ, and that's what is good. Amen.
Thank you very much, Andy. Lernerville Speedway asks that you please give a warm welcome to the Australian baseball team, the Aussie Drop Bears, who are here playing in a tournament just down the road in Freeport. Welcome them as they join us here at Kubota High Limit Racing and make a lot of noise as they perform tonight's Australian national anthem.
Australians, oh, let us rejoice, for we are young and free, with golden soils and well-fought oaks. Our home is girt by sea, our land abounds in nature's gifts of beauty rich and rare. In history's page let every stage advance Australia fair, in joyful strains, and let us sing, advance Australia fair. Aussie, Aussie, Aussie! Oi, oi, oi!
One more round of applause for the Aussie Drop Bears, ladies and gentlemen. Lernerville Speedway, at this time, I ask that you please remain standing as we honor America with the live performance of tonight's national anthem. Lernerville, would you please give a round of applause and a warm welcome to Sandy McConnell.
Oh, say, can you see by the dawn's early light what so proudly we hailed at the twilight's last gleaming, whose broad stripes and bright stars through the perilous fight o'er the ramparts we watched were so gallantly streaming, and the rocket's red glare, the bombs bursting in air, gave proof through the night that our flag was still there. Oh, say, does that star-spangled banner yet wave o'er the land of the free and the home of the brave?
Lernerville Speedway, how about it one more time for Sandy McConnell? Well, Western Pennsylvania, what do you say? Are you ready to go sprint car racing? With that, ladies and gentlemen, it's time to go racing with the Roto-Rooter Midweek Series. It's time to go racing for Brad Sweet, Aaron Reitzel, and Tyler Courtney. And it's time to go all in with Kubota High Limit Racing!
You know I'm never gonna slack. You know I'm never gonna slack. You know I'm never gonna slack. You know I gotta come back. Never gonna slack, never gonna slack. Never gonna slack, never gonna slack. Never gonna slack, never gonna slack. Never gonna slack, never gonna slack.
TJ Ford's heat race number 1 is getting powered up now. Let's take a look at the starting lineup for our first heat race of the night on the pole from Lemoore, California. In the all-by-year alternative, Mesquite Valley Transportation, Tarleton & Sons, Scott Boyd family, Durst Incorporated number 41, it's Carson Macedo. And outside of him from Glendale, Arizona, driving the Pell's Tire Service, RF Knox Company, Newman's Racing Engines, Triple X DMI, number 1A, Ashton Torgerson. Inside of row number 2 from Monrovia, Indiana, in the Skagit Speedway Race Trading Foundation, Ford Performance, Hager Realty number 26, Justin Peck. And outside of him, your fast time qualifier tonight from Locust Grove, Oklahoma, the Pella, Avanti Windows and Doors, Big Spring Car Wash, Water Treatment by Design, Junie, and a Concrete number 13, Dason Persley. Starting back in the 5th spot from Elk Grove, California, the Finley Farms, JBI Group, Vulcans Brothers Trucking, Works Limited, All By Your Alternative, HendrickCars.com, number 57, Kyle Larson. And starting from 6th out of Myerstown, Pennsylvania, and the M&M Painting and Duncan Construction to Gruel Cummin Auctions, Bass Paint, Livewire Customs, number 19, Brent Marks. Starting back in 7th from Tonawanda, New York, the Airport Collision Fiberworks Composites. Get It Dumpsters, number 7NY, Matt Farnham. And your final starter is from Butler, Pennsylvania, the Crow Recycling, Dirty Mouth Communication, Ringer's Pet Dog Training, Reisman Body Shop, number 11, Carl Bowser. TJ Forged only builds forged aluminum wheels using proprietary tooling and exclusive manufacturing processes that clearly elevate our wheels above the competition. Product quality, product safety, and exceptional customer service is what we do. We lead where others follow. Don't settle for close enough. It's TJ Forged. Drivers buzzing the racing surface in just a tick as there was some moisture applied to the race surface during the time after qualifying and before opening ceremonies. Sai Lynch from right down the road in Apollo, Pennsylvania. He is the High Roller Playlist driver here tonight. Here's the first song on his hand-picked playlist. On Sai Lynch's playlist here tonight, we're coming to green. TJ Forged, heat race number 1, 8 laps, top 5, going to the feature. Great start on the inside of run number 2 for Justin Peck. He'll pull up next to Carson Macedo into turn 1. Macedo has momentum. He'll have the race lead down the back straightaway. But Peck gets a good drive off the bottom. Macedo goes down low to protect into turn number 3. Carson Macedo off at turn number 4. He'll lead lap number 1. Justin Peck in 2nd. 3rd is Ashton Torgerson. 4th is Kyle Larson. And 5th is Dason Pursley. Pursley looks low on Larson into turn number 1. Pursley's got to be careful. Cannot lose another position or he will fall out of a dash position. Macedo across the line, 2 in and 6 to go. For the Jason Johnson Racing number 41. Justin Peck, 8 or so car lengths behind him. Then it's another 8 or so car lengths back to Ashton Torgerson as Kyle Larson tries to close in on him. Dason Pursley, 3 or 4 car lengths behind the 57 of Larson. Back behind, Brent March tried to put a move on the 7NY of Matt Farnham, but the yellow flag comes out as Carl Bowser's off the pace in turn number 4. Make that turn 3. Carl Bowser, the car off the track and heading back to the pit area. The 2-time track champion here at Lernerville and 28-time feature winner here at the 4/10 mile has taken that car back to the pit area, and his heat race will come to a close. That'll set us up with a restart with 5 laps to go. Carson Macedo with the race lead. Justin Peck running in 2nd. Ashton Torgerson 3rd. 4th is Kyle Larson, and the final transfer currently belongs to Dason Pursley in car number 13. Orange cone on the front stretch. We're coming to green this time by. That cone signifies a single file restart. Drivers can't pass each other, can't hit that cone, can't go below that cone, or an infraction will be assessed to them. A penalty will be assessed to them as they come to the green flag once again. Keeping an eye on that battle for the 5th position. Rolling into turn 1, Matt Farnham took a look to the inside of Dason Pursley. Pursley shrugs him off at turn number 2. Down the back stretch, here comes Kyle Larson working a lane higher than Ashton Torgerson. Look at that 3rd spot off at turn number 4. Larson's got it across the line. Kyle Larson now into the 3rd position, making his way around the outside of Ashton Torgerson. Torgerson back to the left rear down the back straightaway, trying to reclaim that 3rd spot down the back stretch. Larson blocks him off into turn number 3, and Larson has that spot solidly in hand now. 3 laps to go in TJ Forged heat race number 1 for the 41 of Carson Macedo. An issue off of turn 2 for Dason Pursley allows Matt Farnham to close in down the backstretch. Dason Pursley got to be very careful. He cannot fall out of that 5th position. He will not be part of the dash if that does happen. Matt Farnham in 6th. Brent Marks is in 7th. Here's the white flag. 1 lap to go for the all-by-year-old turn number 41. Justin Peck, way too far behind to put up any sort of challenge for the heat race win. 3 and 4 for the final time, and Carson Macedo wins TJ Forged heat race number 1. Justin Peck 2nd, Kyle Larson 3rd, Ashton Torgerson 4th, and 5th will be Dason Pursley. So your 5 transfers out of heat race number 1. Carson Macedo gets the win, and he will go to the dash. 2nd to the 26 of Justin Peck. 3rd, the 57 of Kyle Larson. 4th, the 1A of Ashton Torgerson. And the final transfer also going to the dash, the 13, Dason Pursley. Matt Farnham, Brent Marks, Carl Bowser, all headed to tonight's Winter's Performance B main. Justin Peck, they're off the start. Tony looked like he was going to have a shot at maybe winning TJ Forged heat race number 1. Comes up 1 spot short in P2.
3rd to 2nd there for Justin Peck. Very happy to see the driver from the Hoosier State racing with us after taking a scary tumble back at Eldora. But JP, you told me it's just another day in the hood out here racing with Kubota High Limit. So what do you think of this Lernerville Speedway as we get into it here tonight?
Yeah, I think, you know, right now, I mean, they just reworked the racetrack, kind of running, you know, middle bottom, but I can see it going away pretty quick, so I think it'll shape up and race pretty good here. You know, we're kind of throwing up all that dirty stuff up in like that high groove, and it just isn't a feasible line yet. But I think throughout these heat races, it'll widen out. It should put on some pretty good racing. So, you know, for us, I think we still got a little bit of work to do, but we can tune this 26 up and take it to the front.
Throwing up that dirty stuff, I hate when I do that after eating too much Taco Bell. Chase Rodman. Justin Peck finishes second there in TJ Forged Heat Race number 1.
The 50-50 up to $3,500. Thank you very much, Tony. As we continue on, heat race number 2 brought to you by the folks at DMI Racing Components. Here's the lineup. At 11 in Indiana, the Sandra Engineering, 4 Cs Construction, Townley, Autry Plumbing, SynCal Demolition, number 14. Spencer Baston will be on the pole. And outside of him, from Lockbourne, Ohio, the NOS Energy Drink, Spire Motorsports, Elliott's Custom Chosen Cars, Brand Professional Agriculture, Gainbridge, number 7 BC, Cole Duncan. Inside of row number 2, from Stoneboro, Pennsylvania, it's the Battle Management, H&H Materials, Slippery Rock Materials, Tri-City Raceway Park, number 5X, Jeremy Weaver. And outside of him, starting in 4th, out of Evans City, Pennsylvania, the Barris Truck Service, Barris Supply, McFarland Lumber, 21st Century Energy Group, number 32B, Brandon Spithaller. Inside of row number 3, in the 5th spot, from Visalia, California, the Red Line Welding and Construction, Smith Titanium, Morrison Engines, King Racing Products, number 45, Corey Eliason. Starting back in 6th, from Jacksonville, Oregon, the Shane DeWalt Trucking, Legacy Builder Supply, Orville Tax Sisters Meat and Smokehouse, number 18T, Tanner Holmes. And starting back in the 7th position from Northport, Florida, in the Global Link Moxie Sports Advisors, NRC Truck Conversions, Tar Heel Property Group, Easter Metal Signs, number 24D, the Florida Man, 24D, Danny Sams III. And outside of him, starting in the 8th spot from Cabot, Pennsylvania, the Beer Nation Goodland Pools, number 4K, Todd Burgard. DMI Racing Components are built with the precision of skilled machinists and the common sense of winning racers. Located in the heart of central Pennsylvania, you can find us every week participating in the sport we love. You race, re-race, let's race together. Sai Lynch, another song coming in from his High Roller playlist. Little Garth Brooks here tonight.
Operator, won't you put me on through? Gotta send my love down to Baton Rouge. Hurry up, won't you put her on the line? Gotta talk to the girl just one more time.
You see Spencer Baston utilizing the new rule here in 2025 with high number racing. The pole sitter in the heat race has the option to start outside, and that is exactly what he is doing, putting Cole Duncan to the bottom. Green flag is out. Heat race number 2 is underway. Rolling into turn number 1. It's going to be Baston with the early race lead. Back behind, almost 3 wide for that 3rd spot. Give it to Brandon Spithaller down the back straightaway. Jeremy Weaver back to the inside. Big move out of Weaver into turn 3. He'll slide to the racetrack, take it away. Now here comes Eliason. They're side by side for 4th across the line. Brandon Spithaller's got the spot. Corey Eliason dips down low into turn number 1. Corey Eliason's now up to 4th. Keep an eye on Tanner Holmes. He can knock Spithaller out of the dash. Brandon Spithaller, just like Dason Persley in the last heat race, has got to be very careful here. Cannot afford to lose another position. Up front, Spencer Baston trying to make his 2nd dash of the year with Kubota High Limit Racing. Showing the way over Cole Duncan, Jeremy Weaver, Corey Eliason, and Brandon Spithaller. Outside the transfer, it's Tanner Holmes and Danny Sams III. As Todd Berger did not make the call here for this heat race. Baston, we heard Justin Peck in that last heat race interview mention the top of the racetrack, not quite a viable option yet. With all the dirty stuff being thrown up there, Baston is trying to clear it off, and he's pulling away from Cole Duncan into turn 3. Spencer Baston, 5 in and 3 to go in DMI Racing Components heat race number 2. The race lead that time by just over 1 second for the Jason Myers Racing number 14. Cole Duncan, great run in this one so far for Jeremy Weaver, sitting in the 3rd spot. Weaver, we saw him run at the Double Down Duels at Eldora Speedway last week. His first ever time to Eldora, made the show, ended up in the 20th position in that feature event. The white flag is out, 1 lap to go for your race leader, Spencer Baston. Down the back straightaway into 3 and 4. DMI Racing Components heat race number 2 goes to the 14. Baston gets the win. Cole Duncan, a problem. That car did not sound good the last time by. He finishes in 2nd. Jeremy Weaver 3rd. Corey Elias Elias in 4th, and 5th will be Brandon Spithaler. Spencer Baston gets the win, and he goes to tonight's dash. Cole Duncan 2nd, but that car did not sound proper. The last 2 times across the line, he's off the pace and stopping. Jeremy Weaver 3rd, Corey Elias in 4th, and 5th, Brandon Spithaler. He will also go to the dash here tonight. Tanner Holmes, Danny Sams, and Todd Burgard, the finishing results in DMI race components heat race number 2. How about Jeremy Weaver? Saw a 3rd place run in that one, Tony. He's going to be happy about that.
I'll tell you what, Jeremy Weaver, you're going to have a hard time missing this cat. Colorful race car, colorful helmet. But what I need to know, you got Hollywood on the side of this thing. Where's the nickname Hollywood come from?
That's just been a hometown thing from a buddy, Andy Buckley, since I was 13 years old running around here. I just got to say, if you're watching this and you're rooting for the guy with no money, you got to be cheering for us right now. This is such a big deal to make this show. I got to thank my guys back in the pit for an amazing job, and I got some sponsors at home, bottle management. I wouldn't be here without them, that's for sure.
Rooting for the guy with no money. It sounds like they're rooting for the both of us. Jeremy Weaver, how about it, Western Pennsylvania? He finishes in 2nd in DMI heat race number 2. Check that, 3rd right behind Cole Duncan.
Thank you very much, Tony. Heat race number 3 about to roll onto the racetrack. BR Motorsports is the sponsor. On the pole of this one, out of Apollo, Pennsylvania, in the Mercedes Motorsports, Ducati of Pittsburgh, Hollywood Blasky and Coating, Mountain Mechanical, MAV Motorsports number 42, the DJ of the night, Sai Lynch. And outside of him, starting in 2nd from Canton, Illinois, in the NOS Energy Drink, King Racing Products, Jim Shooknecht, High Performance Lubricants, Phillips and Tosco Developers, number 7S, Chris Wyndham. Starting in the 3rd spot from Waco, Texas, the All By Your Alternative, Infamous Inc., Bush's Chicken, Flint Rock Ranch, Easy Print, number 9R, the Quickest Chicken, Chase Randall. And outside of him from Dillsburg, Pennsylvania, the J&S Classics, Whitecap, C&D Rigging, Class 1 Transportation, Randy Shearer, Heating and Plumbing, number 39M, Anthony Macri. Starting back in the 5th spot from Struthers, Ohio, in the JS Boba Excavating, Southeastern Equipment, Pro Quality Demolition, Seneca Bob Sub Shop, number 20B, Cody Boba. And starting in P6 out of Mechanicsburg, Pennsylvania, the Hollinger Allebach Racing, Old Milwaukee, Orange Crate Brewing, Beer Hill Gang, number 5W, Lucas Wolf. And starting back in 7th from Mercer, Pennsylvania, it's the Bill McCandless Ford of Meadville, Priest Enterprises, High Tech Lubricants, number 29, Logan McCandless. And your final starter from Hubbard, Ohio, in the Kingdom Classics, IC Electric, Capo Supply, Blue Ribbon Dry Cleaners, number 47, Brett Brunkenhofer. When it comes to buying sprint car parts, there's only one place to shop, and that is BR Motorsports. With over 250,000 parts in stock, BR Motorsports only sells the best parts by the best manufacturers like King Racing Products, MSD Ignition, Kaiser Wheels, and XXX Chassis. Sai Lynch is on the pole of this one. If he gets the win, he will go to the dash. We also have been listening to his high roller playlist here tonight. Here's one coming in from Faruco. It's Lynch amped up to try and win this heat race and go to the dash. He'll start alongside Chris Wyndham. BR Motorsports heat race number 3 is underway. Wyndham, a good jump around the outside. They'll roll into turn 1. Lynch drives it in deep into turn number 1. He'll slam the racetrack, take the race lead down the back straightaway. Sai Lynch, an aggressive maneuver back behind. They are 3 wide for the transfer spot. Here comes Logan McCandless up the racetrack in front of the 9R Chase Randall. Cody Bova off the bottom. He'll take the 4 spot across the line. Cody Bova up the 4. Logan McCandless to the inside. Chase Randall right there, as well as Lucas Wolf. They get very close down the back straightaway. 4 cars under a blanket for that 4th position. Lucas Wolf on the racetrack gets by 2 cars in 1 corner right there. Lucas Wolf now into the final transfer spot in turn number 1. Logan McCandless back to the inside. He'll swing and miss in turn 1. He'll slap the racetrack, and Chase Randall goes on by down the back stretch. Sai Lynch, your race leader. Anthony Macri made his way up to 2nd now. Chris Wyndham is in 3rd. 4th is Cody Bova, and 5th is the 5W of Lucas Wolf. Lucas Wolf riding in the final transfer, closing in on Cody Bova down the back straightaway. Bova through the middle. Lucas Wolf plugs his right rear into the cushion off of turn number 4. Coming after the 20B down the front straightaway. Bova goes to the middle in turn number 1. Lucas Wolf not able to make anything happen down there, and he'll lose a little bit of ground to that JS Bova excavating number 20B car. Down the backstretch right behind them, Logan McCandless will make his way by on the inside of Chase Randall. They go side by side over turn number 4. Randall takes the spot back away. Chase Randall now back to P6, but is 1 spot shy of the transfer spot. Brett Bronkenhofer's taking the 47 car back to the pit area. We will stay green. Sai Lynch, a commanding lead up front the last time by 2.1 seconds over the defending Kings Royal champion. White flag, 1 lap to go in BR Motorsports heat race number 3. The lead now 2.5 seconds for Sai Lynch. Looking for victory in BR Motorsports heat race number 3. Sai Lynch is going to tonight's dash. Anthony Macri in second. Third will be Chris Windham. Fourth to Cody Bova, and fifth will be the 5W of Lucas Wolf. A dominating BR Motorsports heat race number 3 victory for the DJ of the night, Sai Lynch in 42. He will go to the dash along with the 39M of Anthony Macri. Third goes to Chris Windham, fourth to Cody Bova, and fifth, Lucas Wolf. Chase Randall, Logan McCandless, Brett Bronkenhofer heading to the B main here tonight. Well, Sai Lynch, I knew it, Tony. I knew listening to Ferrucco with Pepis would get him up on the wheel, and sure enough, it worked out for him.
Chase, what was that artist's name again one more time?
I'm really hoping it's Ferrucco, but it could be Pepis. I'm just not sure if it's the artist or the song name.
Ferrucco, Pepis, they're on Sai Lynch's high roller playlist. Clearly, that's what got him motivated to go out there and win that heat race by 2.3 seconds. Brother, I've had relationships not last that long. Is that just you being so comfortable here at the Lernerville Speedway?
Yeah, I mean, it definitely feels good to be back in front of the home fans, and they treat us really well here, and I'm hoping to redo 2002 Ed Lynch Jr. style.
Ed Lynch Jr. style, Sarver, Pennsylvania. What do you think? We got any Sai Lynch fans here tonight? He's trying to do it like his dad did back in 2002, Chase. Sai Lynch, he always looks good. He's feeling good here tonight.
He certainly is. He will be in the dash tonight. Here's our final heat race lineup brought to you by the folks at Rod End Supply. On the pole from Enumclaw, Washington, the Curb Records, Brumo's Collection, Crespin Sanitation, Dakota Custom Builders, Curry Pro Solutions, number 9, Casey Kane. And outside of him from Alice Springs, Northern Territory, Australia, the Tarleton & Son, American Rock and Rent, Durst Incorporated, Bandy & Associates, number 21, James McFadden. Starting inside of row number 2, the defending Silver Cup champion out of St. Helena, California, the Rico Abreu, Kerbeck Agenian Racing, Swan Island Sheet Metal, Pacific Boring, Spankins Motorsports, number 24, Rico Abreu. And outside of him from Minden, Nevada, in the JST Motorsports, the Ritual, Smith Titanium Factory Kane, Maxima Racing Oils, number 88, Tanner Thorson. Inside of row number 3, your fifth starter from Lubbock, Texas, in the Horizon Whiskey, Nice Crete and Landis, ShopTruckParts.com, FillPools.com, High Performance Lubricants, number 5, Brenham Crouch. And outside of him, starting back in the 6th spot from Apollo, Pennsylvania, the Fence by Maintenance, Ferguson Heating and Air Conditioning, Trinega Construction, Worthington Steel, Molly, number 2, AJ Flick. And your final starter in this one from right here in Sarver, in the Is That Right Fishing Charters, Vision Line Services, Camel Towing, Fair Hope, Property Investors, number 3J, Jacob Begenwald. We know Corey Day is a scratch for the night. So 7 cars, 8 laps, top 5 to the feature. Out of Rod End Supply heat race number 4, we're green. And it will be McFadden with the jump around the outside with the race lead. Tanner Thorson gets in front of Rico Abreu. He's got third down the back straightaway. Here comes Casey Kane with a move to the inside of McFadden for the race lead. Casey Kane slides up the racetrack, takes the race lead away. Oh, contact back behind between AJ Flick and Rico Abreu. Abreu now falls out of a transfer spot. Jacob Begenwald goes by. McFadden back to the race lead. Here comes Tanner Thorson. He's trying to get the ace in the hole here tonight. Thorson up the track. He's got second off of turn number 4. Tanner Thorson now up to second as Rico makes his way by the outside of Jacob Begenwald, and Abreu's back into the final transfer spot. Rico Abreu back up to 5th, and now Brenham Crouch is trying to work on the number 9 of Casey Kane. Kane around the bottom, Crouch working his way around the outside, pulls up to the back bumper of Casey Kane, rolling into turn number 1. They both run the same line down there in 1 and 2. Now Crouch slips up the racetrack, gets into the cushion off of turn number 2, trying to build some momentum to catch up to the KSP number 9 car. Halfway home in this one, and Tanner Thorson is 1 spot shy of the ace in the hole. Brings that Ron Gross Motorsports number 88 car up to the top of the racetrack. Trying to figure out some speed there if he can catch up to James McFadden. Third place still up for grabs. Brenham Crouch makes his way by on the outside of Casey Kane. Move Crouch up to third down. Brenham Crouch with 4 top 10 runs on the year, trying to add another one here tonight at the Lernerville Speedway. 2 laps to go, and Thorson has closed the gap now. Tanner Thorson within 0.6 of a second on James McFadden. Can he get the ace in the hole here tonight? Rico Abreu is now side by side with Casey Kane for 4th into turn number 3. White flag, 1 lap to go in Rod and Supply Heat Race number 4. Abreu takes 4th across the line. McFadden looks like he is home free. The Tarleton number 21 is going to win Heat Race number 4 and go to the dash. Tanner Thorson in 2nd, Brenham Crouch in 3rd, Rico Abreu 4th, and Casey Kane in 5th. James McFadden wins Rod and Supply Heat Race number 4 and goes to the dash tonight. Tanner Thorson 2nd. He also will be a part of the FK Rodden's dash. Brenham Crouch, Rico Abreu, and Casey Kane, the top 5. Jacob Begenwald and AJ Flick, the cars that were still on the track. Corey Day, remember, he scratched for the night, and so he will be credited with the 8th position. Brenham Crouch in that one, an impressive run there, Tony, from 5th up to 3rd. Had a great battle with Rico and a great battle with Casey Kane, and the number 5 car is going to have a great starting spot for tonight's main event.
Yeah, that's exactly what I want to ask the driver from Lubbock, Texas about. You get to go wheel to wheel there with guys like Rico Abreu and Casey Kane, still very young in your winged sprint car race career. What can you and what did you learn from racing 2 legends of the sport like those guys?
Yeah, I mean, all year long we're racing, I guess, absolute legends, as you call it. There's no slacks on this tour, so we really just got to get our qualifying figured out. Like, this thing races really good, and I'm picking it up, I feel like, pretty good later in the night, but just got to figure early night stuff out. You know, shout out to Chad and Anne-Marie and Blake Helton, Shanna Helton, everybody back home, looking to put a good run together for everybody tonight.
Good save on those eyeglasses there. I saw you drop them, but they did not get to the floor. That is Lubbock, Texas's Brenham Crouch in the Horizon Whiskey number 5 for CJB. He'll be racing a little bit later on tonight, Chase.
He certainly will, and that wraps up our heat races here tonight. So when we come back from this break on FloRacing, we will go down to the DKW Transport redraw wheel, and one driver will walk away with $2,000 just for spinning that wheel. All of that and more on the other side of this FloRacing break.
I'm Tyler Courtney.